today I've brought my bestest friend Myrtle with you. Hi, I'm Myrtle, and we're going to share a story. This is a real, true life story that happened, and that's why I love Myrtle so much. Gladys and I love to go shopping. A lot of people love to go shopping. But we live really far away from a good mom. 2 hours from everywhere we live in the mountains of western North Carolina, in case you can't tell. So, we usually make a weekend of it. So one weekend, we decided, let's go shopping this weekend. So I hopped online and I looked for hotels to stay in. Yeah, we are tech savvy. We're old, but we know how to use all that stuff. So, the problem is, it was kind of last minute. So the only places that I could find were either really expensive or there was one really cheap place. We had never done a cheap place before. We always stayed at the bestest places because we didn't want to get bed bugs. But Gladys said, when I called her to ask her, should we get the really criminally expensive place or should we get the really cheap place? Because there were no prices in the middle. And she said, if we save money on the hotel room, that's more money that we can spend shopping. I thought, oh, she's a genius. So we decided to thought I was a genius too. Yeah, it's true. So we just braced ourselves and drove on down there. We did. And we got there and we parked, we got all our luggage out of the car. And we took it into the little check-in place. And you need to know, we don't just drive. We drive a convertible white Mercedes. We are the stuff. And we put our sunglasses on. Nobody knows how old we are. So, we got to the hotel. And we went into the check-in room. And the first thing we noticed that it smelled a little funny. I remember that. And I have a very, very sensitive nose. It's true, she does. So, I can smell a coon fart from a mile away. Oh, well, that's very specific. So, we went in, and the little checkout lady was in there, and I noticed that she looked a little odd. Yeah, she was a little thin. No, she was a lot thin on top. She was a little sparse, but she did her very best to pull some across and to cover it up the best she could. And this girl was just delightful. Yes. She was just delightful. And I didn't say anything because I know how karma works. I ain't bald yet, and I don't want to be bald, so I was being nice. I was being real nice. We didn't even mention anything to each other about it. You just don't say those kinds of things. You just don't. No. Right. So, that's what good people do. That's what good people do. You just don't say anything. So, we just checked in, and we went down to our room. We went into the room, and the second thing we noticed was that the room smelled even worse than the check-in room. And it had kind of a filmy feeling to it. Yeah, and I have a very sensitive nose and a very sensitive body too, and I can feel things like that. But she was so sweet. She didn't want to embarrass me. No, so she didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. No. And we knew that the stores were going to be closed soon anyway. And so we just thought, we'll just kill the rest of the evening and watch a movie on the TV. Just make the best of it. Yeah. Absolutely. That's what girls do. That's what we do. So, I found the remote, and I pushed the on button, and nothing happened. Okay. All right. No. So, I went over to the TV, and I noticed that the on button was missing. It's just an empty little hole. So she tried to get some kind of pen or metal object or something and punch in that hole, which worked, but it might not have been the smartest move. No, you have to understand, we're smart people. We may not look like smart people, but we are smart people. But when I put that pen in that hole to try to turn that TV on, it scared Gladys. She didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know her very well at that time. She really didn't. She really didn't. And she slapped that pen right out of my hand. It fell right to the ground, it did. And I shrieked, ah! I couldn't help it. It was my grandmother instinct. It just kicked in. It's bigger than I am. But, in my defense, the TV did come on. It did. It came on. And so then I thought, well, you didn't die. No, I didn't die. No. I got up off the floor. She still had her hair left. I did. And I got up off the floor and I went back. I thought, okay, well now we'll just change the television channel. And I pushed the buttons and the channels didn't change. And I thought, well, maybe I'll try to reset it. I couldn't figure out how to reset the TV. So I sat there and I was just stumped. And I said, Gladys, I don't know. Do you think maybe we need some help? And Gladys said, in her brilliance, Gladys's brilliance, that's me. Yes. I'm Gladys. Yes. And in Gladys's brilliance, she said, well, maybe we could call the nice lady at the front desk and see if she'll come over and fix the TV. It was so bad. That was so awful. That was just awful. Shame on us.